crew? I am Mila, the housekeeper, and today we're going to talk about the 3 mistakes that hosts make when they are hiring a cleaning team. This is also me. That's Mila, the housekeeper. Can you tell the resemblance according to my 3-year-old? So today we're discussing the 3 mistakes that hosts make when they're hiring a cleaning team or an individual cleaner for themselves. First mistake, not understanding the difference between residential cleans and short-term rental cleans. First mistake is understanding the difference between short-term rental cleans, or otherwise known as Airbnb cleans, and residential cleans. They are not the same at all, okay? So this is the difference. There are about 2-3 different kind of styles of cleans that are really popular. You have the commercial clean where you're cleaning offices. You're mainly taking out the trash, dusting, cleaning the toilets, that kind of thing, cleaning the floors. Now we have residential cleaning. Residential cleaning is when you have a cleaner, they go into your house. They're not really going into your cabinets. They're not going into your refrigerator, I believe, unless you ask them to. But if you have a cleaner that comes to your house every 2 weeks, they're gonna come in, they're gonna clean the surfaces, vacuum, mop the floor, things of that nature. But when it comes to short-term rental cleaning or Airbnb cleaning, it's a completely different style of cleaning. It's a completely different animal. So what essentially Airbnb cleaning is a reset clean. You have to wash the sheets, wash the dishes, restock the supplies, shampoo, toilet paper, paper towels, that kind of thing. And we also report in our business. We report to the host the status of their unit, the status of their house. So the big difference between residential clean and short-term rental clean is the end customer. So the end customer in a residential clean is you're usually the end customer. The person who owns the house is usually the end customer. They're the one who is enjoying the clean. If you see, a toothpaste stain on your faucet, you're not gonna freak out. If you see a hair in your bathroom, you're not gonna care too much about it. Otherwise, your cleaner did a great job cleaning your house. But when it comes to vacation rental cleaning, your end user is a guest. And that guest, that's not their house, and they don't want somebody else's hair in the bed or on the floor or the mirror being dirty when they go to the bathroom. So those are the kind of things that we have to understand. We have to understand who the end user is. And usually the end user is pretty skeptical about going into an Airbnb clean because they want it clean. They want to make sure that it's clean. So they're gonna look, they're gonna see if it's dusty. They're gonna see if the sofa has crumbs under it. They're gonna see if there's a hair in the bathroom. So that's why these pieces of attention to detail are really important when it comes to vacation rental cleaning. Other points as to how residential cleans and short-term rental cleans are different is that, not to mention that us as cleaners are not just cleaning when we're doing Airbnb type of cleans. Usually a residential cleaner, they go into your house, they do their clean, maybe they'll bring their own supplies, maybe you have supplies for them, and then they get back in the car and they go home. When it comes to short-term rentals, sometimes we have to arrive with clean sheets, consumables. We also have to, outside of cleaning, we have to restock. So like I mentioned before, we're restocking toilet paper, paper towels, shampoo, conditioner, all that good stuff that we have to restock. Sometimes the bathroom light doesn't turn on, and this is something that we have to report to the host. Other times the tub doesn't drain. The tub doesn't drain, it's full of hair, and somebody needs to go get Drano and unclog that tub. So your residential cleaner is not gonna do all that. They clean and peace out, we're done cleaning, good luck with that drain. But when it comes to vacation rental cleaning, it is really important for us to also report outside of just the cleaning. There's a lot of things we have to do outside of cleaning, but reporting is one of them. And not to mention that guests are always losing their stuff. IDs, purses, any kind of the shoes, all kinds of stuff. We always find stuff that the guests leave. So we help facilitate sending that back. We send pictures to the host. When you have a residential cleaner coming into your house, They also don't have to take pictures. So what our team does is we go in, we take pictures before, we take pictures after, and then to prove to you that it's clean, a lot of the times, it depends on the client, we take a picture inside of the dishwasher, inside of the dryer, inside of the microwave to let you know that there is nothing inside and the guests won't find any surprises. But your residential cleaner doesn't have to do that. They get to clean, mind their business, and leave. So when it comes to vacation rental cleaning, it is a little bit more detailed. It is a whole lot of common sense because we have to solve a lot of problems, usually because we're the ones on the ground. A lot of hosts like to ask me, why don't some cleaning companies want to work with me? And I believe the answer to that is it's not their business model. When it comes to commercial cleaning, that's a whole different business model. You're paying people a different price. They're doing a different kind of detail work of job. When it comes to residential, same thing. When it comes to vacation rental, same thing. They are all cleaning, but they are three different business models. The most important point, I think, with the different business models are the logistics. When it comes to time, cleans start at 11 most of the time, and they need to be done by 3. When it comes to residential cleans or commercial cleaning is done at night. They're usually cleaning at night when there's nobody in the office. And then you have residential cleans, which is kind of like a 9 to 5 type of job where people are cleaning between 9 to 5. But when it comes to Airbnb cleaning, the prime time is between 11 and 3. And that is major when it comes to having somebody be at your place on time and get the quality clean that you need. All right, on to mistake number 2, setting up reasonable expectations for your cleaner. Let's get into it. So, one mistake that hosts make all the time is setting up reasonable expectations for their cleaner. What does that mean? It means if your washer and dryer are teeny tiny and they take forever to clean, how do you expect us to get this done by 3 o'clock? How? So that is one of the things that you have to understand, the logistics of how things work as well. If your washer and dryer is too small, if you want it done at a certain time, if you want all these other details to be done, they have to be reasonable. Taking out the trash, putting out the trash for the trash guy to come and pick it up. So one example of an unreasonable expectation is I used to have a client that wanted all of their units done before 3 p.m. And we had a lot of units with them. Say we have 60 units with them. And they wanted all the units done before 3 p.m. And unfortunately, I had to tell them that that was not sustainable. So why is it not sustainable? This is the thing. If my cleaners can only clean until 3, they're not making enough money a day to support their lifestyle. They're just not. So they're going to leave me and find another job that is more sustainable financially. And so that is the main problem that cleaners or cleaning business owners will have. That can cause high turnover. Having cleaners that don't have enough cleans is ultimately going to cost a cleaning business owner to have to hire more cleaners, especially if you can only clean before 3 p.m. It's not enough money that they can make to sustain a lifestyle. And we could either tell them, you can go find another job, or if my cleaners do a great job, I want them to stay with me. I don't want them to go find another job. And it's really hard to find good cleaners. So that means as a cleaning business owner, I have to make sure they have enough work to clean every day. And cutting off at 3 o'clock when cleans take about, maybe a 1-bedroom could take an hour and a half, 2 hours to clean. I don't want to hear those other people who say it takes 30 minutes. It does not. That is not clean. Especially when we're cleaning a full unit. But I digress. So if you want your cleaners to be happy, what makes them happy? There's a whole lot of different reasons why my cleaners are happy, mostly flexibility, the pay. So those are the major parts that they like the job. So if they're only cleaning, until 3, it's not enough for them to sustain themselves. So they're going to go find another job and that will sustain them. And then that's harder on me, the business owner, because I have to keep finding people to tolerate that time limit. And it's almost impossible. Now, this particular person suggested that I also do residential cleaning, and that their past cleaners did residential and short-term rental, and that's how they were able to survive having all the cleans done before 3. And that kind of blew my mind, and I also said that's not going to work. Yeah, they didn't love me for that, but it's the truth. It's not sustainable. The thing about mixing your cleaners, that's a really dangerous thing to do. A residential cleaner and an STR cleaner, I would, even if I had a residential cleaning company, I would not mix them. Why? Because when you are going in with your residential hat, you're not going to clean out the refrigerator. You're not going to make sure there's nothing in there. You're not going to go through the cabinets and make sure that the next guest comes to empty, clean cabinets. Usually when I hire a residential cleaner, I always see the same mistakes because they're just not used to it. So they have to be 2 separate businesses. You have to have your cleaners for STR and you have to have your cleaners for residential. They cannot mix. And honestly, that's why they got fired. That's why the last cleaners got fired, and that's why you're hiring me, but you want me to make the same mistakes that the last one made. It doesn't work like that. Expectations must be reasonable. And the last and probably most important mistake that hosts make is paying their cleaners. Unfortunately, a lot of hosts have not cleaned their own vacation rental units, so they don't understand the labor that goes into it. And another mistake that happens is they compare clean pay to what is out there on Indeed or whatever. So you can go and look how much a cleaner is getting paid in Texas and say, I don't know, it's between 11 and 18 bucks, and expect your cleaner to clean a 1-bedroom apartment that takes an hour and a half, 2 hours to do for 30 bucks. Yeah, you guys, I'm looking at y'all with y'all $30 a unit. It's not sustainable. When it comes to hiring a cleaner, you have to, in my business, you have to hire street smart people with common sense. Otherwise, you're gonna have a real hurting heart of a time to get your cleans done on time. So to hire street smart people, the optimal word is smart. So therefore it is a skill job. It is a skill to be able to clean short-term rentals. So you must be able to pay what they need to get the job done, because it really is a headache. And I want to share this story with you guys so that you understand. So when I first started out my career, I started out as an auditor. Yeah. That's another podcast for another time. So I was an auditor for a trash company. And everybody new to that department would have to do a ride along with the garbage truck drivers. And yeah, I had to get up, I think 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, be in the truck like at 4 o'clock in the morning, and start the route with the driver. That opened my eyes, even in the business that I do today, because if you don't actually know the job or you're not in the job, you don't understand the pains of your team, of the people actually doing the work. And so, by the way, garbage truck drivers get paid a lot because it is actually skill. It's very dangerous to drive a garbage truck. And after being in a smelly garbage truck all day long, you really appreciate what the garbage truck drivers are doing. So it's the same thing when it comes to the cleaning business. If you've actually cleaned an Airbnb, you know that you should be paying your cleaner what they deserve. Otherwise, it's going to be a real big hurting to find somebody to do that kind of job for you. It is not an easy job, and it's super detail oriented, and you have to have a whole lot of common sense, and you have to find people who have this kind of common sense in them, which is very hard to find. A lot of the times the idea is because they are a cleaner, they don't need to get paid more than a certain amount. But what I'm trying to tell you is you cannot compare a commercial cleaner that gets paid $10, $11 an hour to a residential cleaner that gets paid, who knows, $30, $60, dollars an hour. And then you have vacation rental cleaners. And the big point about this is, especially when you want to compare residential cleaners and vacation rental cleaners, a lot of times Residential cleaners don't want to clean for you because they make more money doing residential, doing less. And when it comes to your Airbnb, you want that bad boy cleaned right because this is your business. You're making money from it. And then there's a whole nother thing about, oh, I get a lot of clients, or I get a lot of hosts telling me, you're too expensive, bruh. And I'm like, bruh, I'm not too expensive. I'm not expensive at all, because you are paying exactly what you're getting. You're getting a quality clean. And on top of that, the cleaner wants to do their job because they're getting compensated correctly. And when I compensate my cleaners correctly, let me tell you, they love this job. My cleaners, if I let them go, they're always coming back because the job is flexible, they get paid well if they do the job well. On top of that, the payment for the clean is supposed to go to the guests. So I'm not understanding why you think I'm expensive, because that's supposed to be passed off to the guests. Now, when I first started in the beginning, some of my hosts did think that the price was too high to attract the right guests. But my counter on that is, let's say you get a guest that's gonna stay a week. This is not gonna work for your guest that's gonna stay one night. So if you have a guest that's gonna stay a week, let's say the clean is $120, why don't you think about splitting that? You pay the host, I know y'all don't wanna pay nothing, but let's say you pay $60 to have it professionally cleaned and you don't have to worry about a thing, and the guest comes in and pays $60 to have a professional clean and not worry about a thing. And at the end of the day, if they stay for a week, $60 is nothing to you for your operating costs. But I understand, like, if that's not what you want to do, but we all know that the price is passed down to the guest. So when we are told that it's too expensive, this is a lie. Quality is not expensive. You know what's expensive? Giving a refund, cancellations, giving a free night, that's expensive. So the most important thing you can do if you're not gonna clean it is hire a good cleaner or hire a good cleaning team that is reliable, shows up on time, does the job well, lets you know anything that's going on in your unit. Those are the kind of people that it's worth paying a little bit extra, which is not even a little bit extra because residential cleans are still more expensive than short-term rental cleans, but then yeah, we still have to do it in a short time frame and have every detail done right. So I just want y'all to understand that this job is more than what the eye meets. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of training, it's a lot of quality control checks. There's a lot to be done. So at the end of the day, to make this work, especially for hosts and cleaners alike, you have to understand what the job is. You have to set up reasonable expectations. Your cleaners can only do so much, but when it comes to vacation rental cleaning, it is housekeeping plus. So keep that in mind, that there's not just cleaning, there is a plus to it. And lastly, pay your cleaners well. Pay them what they deserve. They deserve it. And trust me, they'll be loyal to you, they'll come back, and they will love their job. What's wrong with that? So until next time, you guys.